Yeah, I'm worried about the tit for tat kind of like using the political process in this like political warfare. Like it was kind of accepted that like, okay, we fight things out at the ballot box with ideas and our platforms and stuff like that. Now we've somehow gotten into a weird war over we're just going to change the maps and we're just going to like we're going to battle each other. Like Illinois wanted to get involved, Massachusetts wanted to get involved. We're all like now just going to redistrict to rig the election how we want it. Like that feels like we're teetering on the edge of like destroying the republic and what holds us together. um that may be the biggest thing that scares the crap out of me is like once states start doing that, like are we even a republic anymore? Are we even the United States where we follow a set of rules of like you redraw your districts and they sit there for 10 years? We're not even following those rules anymore. So I'll throw that out to you guys, whoever wants to hop in. Like if you're concerned about the bigger, like long term kind of catastrophic I'm not trying to be black pilled here, but the catastrophic damage this could do to like the fabric of our country. I'm not trying to be too depressing at the end of this episode about how the Constitution and everything might call crumbling down after this. But anyway, whoever wants to jump in after that cheery note.
I mean, I'll just add to the sentiment. Like I said, I thought this was a joke because of how horrific it was. And now that I realize, obviously, it's not a joke, your concerns are not just, oh, I mean, this is exactly the way things can and have gone in the past in other countries. I mean, I studied international relations. I feel like countries are living organisms. I've watched them rise and die. And these are similar tactics of the tit for tat. Now our ideas aren't clashing anymore. Let's start using institutions to clash. Let's start lawfare. Let's start redistricting. Because you're right. There is an elevation in the political discourse today, and it's not based on discourse and dialogue. It's based on intimidation and structural changes. So I do think that's a legit fear. And that's one of the things I tell young people when talking, or my peers when talking about these issues, is like, this is something that's going to disenfranchise not just Republican, Democrat, our system of government and moving forward. Like you said, when do we stop? When do we just go back to 10 years, or is it whenever someone's upset, they redraw?
I mean, this is stuff that like Robespierre did during the French Revolution. Like when he couldn't get enough Jacobins in the legislature, he just said, oh, okay, I'm just going to swap all you out and put all my guys in. And that's how I'm going to take over. And it's like, that's what it feels like, is like, well, we can't get enough representatives in Congress the normal way, the way it's supposed to. So let's just cheat and get everybody in there as much as we can. That's what it feels like to me.
Right. Yeah. Sorry, I should let the guests go first. If we have you here for a reason, go ahead, ladies.
Camille, you have such good input here, so please, we want to hear from you too.
Thank you. We haven't heard the argument recently of pack the courts, but I feel like they could use this now, on the one hand, if every state decides to redistrict in response, they've said, or like ChatGPT or whatever has said, Republicans would actually come out ahead, which that should scare Democrats. But if they do start to do this and get their way, can't they then use it to pack the courts and pass that? And like, I mean, exactly like Phil said, where does it end?
That was my exact point I was going to make, actually.
was that
this will be used. No, this will be used. It's this finger pointing and blame placing in order to justify and distract the voter. And Phil, you're right. We are drifting so far from the intention of why our country is a republic and why we don't ever let majority rule infect our process of decision making and this sort of top down with the voter and the people at the top. We aren't a monarchy. That's the point. And it's interesting to see that we are inching ever closer in this state to operating like one. And it is scary. And I think it's okay that people listening tonight to this understand how vital this vote is. I would say in the last 15 years, maybe, this is probably one of the most critical votes and ballot propositions in terms of how things are going to go forward and how we are just sort of letting go of those guardrails that are keeping some kind of reasonability in place for protecting the way that we operate as a republic. So I would just encourage everyone, just that now's the time. Get off your duff, fill out the bubble, put it in the mail, please. Like, it's literally the easiest thing to do. And I have a lot of concern with our heads are in policy and legislation and California specific movement all day long. This one is really highly concerning. Please vote.
Yeah.
April?
I think that COVID, when it all started, everybody freaked out all of a sudden. Oh my God, we don't have rights. All these things are happening. We started learning and waking up and like, oh my gosh, like all these things, they're able to do this, they're able to do that to us. And I just feel like we had like it's quiet. It's like this like quiet situation going on, and they're doing all this stuff behind the scenes. Like, oh, we got Trump in office, wonderful, everything's good. And they're just always like working, passing these little props and these little bills and everything under your nose because there's so many people who are not, involved, and they think, okay, everything's all good now. Trump's in office, we're good to go. And it's a slippery slope. And I feel like it's just like this the calm before the storm, and I just feel like it's escalating, and there's something else that they always have up under their sleeve, and I'm just very concerned that like it's not going to be the end of this, and who knows why they're passing this and what they really haven't, like there's something else going on that we just don't know about, and that's why they're pushing this to distract us. Everyone should be like on top of Newsom with everything going on with the fires, like the fact that nobody's saying anything. This was like the perfect time to swoop in and distract from his horrible response that nothing's been built there. No one's ever moving back there in anytime soon. By 2030, I doubt it. And so he just brought this whole thing in like nothing to see here. I'm going to distract you with this like a magician. So it's very alarming, and I don't know what's coming, but everybody's got to just vote. It takes literally 2 seconds. It's super easy.
Yes. And what's interesting too is, which of course we've all brought this up a million times, but Prop 36, which overwhelmingly passed in California, including obviously Democrats. So even Democrats, you should be concerned about the fact that you voted to pass Prop 36. Gavin Newsom said, we can't fund it, there's no money. And yet he magically came up with nearly $300 million to have this special election. And so why aren't you challenging the man that you put in office of, hey, we voted on this proposition, we wanted to fund it, we agreed that that was a good use of tax dollars. You said, no, we don't have the money, but here it is. What were you doing all that time? Where did this money come from? If we didn't have it before, you guys, come on, challenge the governor that you elected on his policies. What?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good question.
Yeah, like April said, like
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, like, it's a great point April made. Is people got so excited that Trump got reelected, and they were like, "That's it, cool. We won, it's over."
Yeah. Oh, totally.
It's like Top Gun, roll the credits. It's all good. Like it's all we won. America's back. And it's like,
look at Miami right now. Miami, they're trying to pass a mayor in there. I don't know how they did it. Some loophole. It's a year before the race. Nobody even knew. All of a sudden, she's like a Soros-funded Democrat socialist, like anti-Semitic, jihadi person. And it's Miami. It's like full of Jews. Wow. And she's like, no bail reform, homeless encampments, like Karen Bass on freaking steroids in Miami, because you all thought, oh, we're all good. We got Ron DeSantis. Everything is great. We can walk around with guns strapped to our, like, no, that's exactly what they do. You're distracted thinking everything's fine. And little by little, they do these local races. Look at Arizona. Arizona thought it was red. And look how they got, Katie Hobbs in there. Did they ever get her out? I mean, with the conflict of interest there, that she literally oversaw her own election and all the fraud. That's the problem. It's very hard to backtrack these things. She got in trouble for so much fraud and all these things, but nobody's talking about it. Yeah. Everyone forgets.
You've heard that saying, right, about conservatives, about Republicans. When we lose, we quit, and when we win, we quit.
Yeah.
And so I think if we are still, sadly, not too many days past Charlie Kirk's murder and death, and we cannot lose hold of that fire, that every person in their own way needs to figure out how to have their voice heard, to do something, to make videos and put them out there on TikTok, right? Like, even if you get the hate in return, do something. Like, get out there, encourage people to vote, go collect your friends' signed and sealed and filled out ballots and ballot harvest the right legal way. Everyone has a different way that is unique to them that they can participate in this. Participate in your civic duty. This is our right. People fought very hard for us to have this ability. So I would just encourage everyone to do your part in the way that you can. And we cannot quit now. We've got to keep going.